with Carrollton Newman Smith head football coach Paul Ressa. And Paul, I said, now that you've had your off season, you had your spring, I said, do you think you met your goals as a team?
There's no doubt. We exceeded the goals, and the reason why is because of the culture of the locker room. I've really, truly enjoyed coaching again since probably 2009, 2010 season. And, yeah, we were successful then, but we had a different bunch of kids, and we had a kids committed to one direction. And that came out very, very clear this last month. We had an infusion of talent from the basketball. We had an unprecedented amount of kids, and it's been awesome. Coach Johnson and I have been friends for many, many years, and we understand that we're a small school. We got to share. And his kids came out in force, and all of a sudden now we've had a bunch of kids. I want to say upwards of 11 basketball kids that has helped us at both JV and the varsity level. But that picked up the atmosphere, that picked up the attitude and things like that, and I think they enjoyed each other. And I know, the coaching in the spring, it's tough for coaches because coaches are doing other sports, and they're still in season. Baseball went long, it did well. Track went long because they did well. So we were short coaches and things like that. Softball as well, we were missing coaches. So there's times out there that we were coaching all these kids with 5 coaches. But the kids didn't miss a beat, and it was a pleasure to see, and it was a pleasure to be part of.
As a head coach, you've got to love the fact of getting athletes in here, but that breeds one thing is competition.
Yeah, no doubt. We now have a starter looking over his shoulder, right? Because not just because we have numbers, but we have quality numbers, and that made a huge difference. Are there areas that we had to manufacture some depth? Yeah. Are there some places where kids still have to go both ways? Yes. One, because they can. There's a couple necessities that we have to do that we'd rather not, but we have to design our practice, and we have to design our depth based on the kids that we have, and they've done a good job. We wear it on our backs. This year's mantra is all in, and they have taken that to another level.
Well, heck, I also think that's got to also breed a lot of excitement for you coaches now, having the numbers there and the competition level. That's got to get that inner fire for you guys kind of boiling again, too.
Again, I'll go back. I truly enjoyed coaching this spring. I mean, it was fun. Coaching football is always fun, don't get me wrong, but there are times when it turns into a job up there, and it's a challenge, and this, I couldn't wait to get to practice because the kids wanted to be at practice. I had a consistent group out there, about anywhere from 61 to 66 that were there on a daily basis. Never really had that. We had huge fluctuations. We might have 70 kids that were eligible to be out there, but we might have 43 kids that were actually out there years past. We didn't have that. We were right around that 60, 66 mark every single practice, and that was huge. And so much so that the coaches were having fun. We had the last part of the practice was a coaches versus the seniors to be 7-on-7. And they did that. It came from Jared Alexander, who came from MacArthur, and I love the idea. And so we went ahead and we did it, and we made some rules. The seniors, the senior kids had to have 2 linemen on the field at all times, right? Everybody had to play, right? So they had some rules. Coaches didn't have any rules. So we were able to, we got a nice little trophy over there. Now the kids made a big block of wood, and we tied 21-21, and Coach Ressa blew the whistle as soon as we got picked off, so they couldn't score. But that's the way our spring went, and that's the way it finished. That was the practice right before our spring game. So it was awesome. We got the work done before we did that, but then it was the kids had a blast, and so did the coaches. So it really is a win-win.
Well, and it sounds like to me it's also a great team bonding thing here. So I think that's very big for kids there, and I'm sure that was a big, tremendous thing for the whole team to kind of go through.
Yeah, there's no question. The biggest thing, and you've known me for years, is relationships, and that's what we're in this job to do and to build, and our coaches do a great job with relationships. So when they have the relationships and the kids want to have those relationships, you got to have that piece too. But I think we got that. They don't want to disappoint. They don't want to disappoint their coach, right? And when we get to that point, great things happen, right? One kid of character changes a whole team, right? A team of character can change a whole school, right? And then a school can change a whole community if we get to that point. And that's where this team, I think this varsity team that's coming up, we got the 45 kids. They got great captains on it, and they pick great captains. I think we can do that. We have an opportunity to do that this year.
With that vision also that you've just went over there, I guess that would be something that you kind of carry over into the summer and for your goals as a team going in for the summer. What are the type of things that you want achieved this summer for your team then?
Well, we already had one goal that I wanted achieved. I gave the captains, the 4 captains, I gave them the varsity kids, cell phones, email addresses, asked them to communicate. They already put together group text. They already put out a group text to everybody yesterday. Nothing but positive stuff, talking about how good the spring was, but we got to grind. We got to get after it. It doesn't stop, Thursday, June 2nd. It's going to stop in December. And that was the message that the kid gave. That didn't come from Coach Ressa. That was a kid-generated text message to the varsity staff. So they have already met one goal and exceeded it.
Well, I know that in speaking with a lot of the coaches, they always say that generally speaking, your biggest improvement for your team is from June to right up to 2 days for you guys. And I guess it's not 2 days any longer, but you're when you're getting in your pads. I said, do you also kind of agree with that assessment?
Yeah, to an extent. I want the kids to have fun. I want them to enjoy being a kid. Right, a lot of these kids do have to work and things like that, and I understand that, and they do need a break. They do need a time, but they have to understand, and I think this group does again, that they committed. Right, they signed up for Newman Smith football. They have signed up for the privilege to play and to be a Newman Smith Trojan. So this group gets it, and I fully expect that we will have. Just talking about the varsity roster, I think they'll be at 90% in attendance. They'll take a week off, and we've already built weeks in off, and these kids are already on top of things to where they're understanding, okay, I can be on vacation this week, and I can be on vacation that week. So it's a good thing.
That's good. Well, hey, Coach, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you giving us a few moments here to talk about it. We wish you the best of luck, and I know that we'll see good things from Newman Smith coming up here in the fall.